Hi, it's me, Vamp, and welcome back to another podcast episode. Now, I'm going to do this video a little bit different because, okay, as you may know, Warframe is a video game I like to play. It just had its 6th-year anniversary. Actually, the anniversary year event is still going on for all platforms. But the reason I point this out because it brings us into our first topic, which will be the Warframe community. Now, the Warframe community is very positive for the most part, and there are a few, rotten apples every now and then, but overall, the community is very, very positive. Just to give you an example on how positive the Warframe community can be, there was a charity event not too long ago for able gamers. For those of you guys that don't know, able gamers is able gamers actually supports people with the various disabilities, giving them what they need to stream, play video games, different stuff like that. I'm not sponsored by able gamers or anything. I just believe in what they are doing, and that was one example. We did an event. All our Warframe partners got together and did it. Well, the reason I bring that up and the reason I bring able gamers up because I actually myself have a disability. I have CP or cerebral palsy, as some may know the abbreviation. Basically, it's been known to affect my speech, my balance, and my hand-eye coordination. But despite that, I get overwhelming positivity in the Warframe community, which I think is just awesome. It says a lot about the community. I'm going to go ahead and read the main comment that inspired me to sort of add this beginning part on to the video, which is that someone said, "Hey man, this is a great vid, but why are you talking like that?" And sometimes you'll get comments, really rude comments. It's a YouTube, so you guys kind of have thick skin to be a content creator on YouTube. Well, but that comment seemed very genuine. So I responded to them, that I have CP or cerebral palsy and it can affect my speech a bit. They responded back and said that they're glad it's not holding me back from making these amazing videos, so keep going. Right there to me is very good inspiration and positive attitude and whatnot keeps me going, making more and more content. Glad people enjoy, glad people find it informative. I bring it up overall because it says a lot about the Warframe community, especially when you have other communities. Like I was in a Gearbox trailer today. I mean, not trailer. Twitch channel. I was in the Gearbox Twitch channel trailer. Okay, and they were actually talking about, they were making a big announcement for Borderlands 3 coming out. It's fine, it's dandy, but I actually had to close the comment section because they were just all kinds of acting up and everything in the comment section, in that whole comment area thing. On Twitch, I had to close it out. And it got me thinking even more. Thank thankfully, the Warframe community isn't like that at all. When I stream over at twitch.tv/vamp6x6x6x, it is a very positive experience for me for the most part. Every now and then I get someone. I'll be honest, I was a little bothered when I first got my first racist comment in chat, but I definitely have moved on since then. The best way to deal with comments like that is just don't acknowledge their existence. They're looking for a reaction. But anyway, yes, this is very, very good community, a very good community. Rather, and there's lots of other positive comments. But with that said, and speaking of Warframe in general, I actually have some not really negative thing, but at the game as a whole, but more I got feedback. As you guys know, I talk about Nightwave a lot. Well, Nightwave actually released their bounties, which, on my YouTube channel, Warframe Madness, I actually like to make a video about all the new bounties every week. Because every Sunday, Eastern Time, of course, they always reset. Well, I have two problems. One, my biggest problem probably with the bounty this week is not the bounty's fault per se. I wasn't feeling it. I've done maybe 4 bounties this whole week at the most. Usually I get excited and complete them all in one day, or 2 days at the most, but I've really been hesitant today to do the bounty, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. This whole week, not just today, this whole week I've been hesitant to do the bounty. Now it's just kind of, I know I gotta get through them to get the reward I want in the end, because the reward pool is a level up grind just like any syndicate. Which, now that I think about it, poses another problem, which is the fact that new players just joining Warframe probably won't be able to get all the rewards, which kind of sucks. But speaking of, again, not being able to get something, there was a bounty this past week. The bounty said to, with a friend, do 40 waves defense. No one liked it. Everyone seemed quite upset by it because it's, with a friend, do the defense. So either you'll have people on the scale of things, oh, this is just so boring, we're sitting here doing nothing. Then you had other people, my friend don't play Warframe, I don't have any friend type thing. So DE changed it to kill 100 Exodus enemies, which is considerably easier. Well, DE changing it, some people were like, oh, DE changes it based on community feedback. That's cool. Others were like, DE changes it just because the will of the people who cry out. But DE actually came out and made a statement, and that statement was that they are changing the bounty because of the fact that something did not work on one of the nodes, which is understandable. It's one of the nodes that needs fixing. I believe it was the void defense node, one of the void defense nodes, which is understandable. Not sure if that was the entire reason or not. I'm gonna take DE at their word for that one. They said it was, so it definitely was. But in that regard, the community will mention what they don't like. And I actually think that is a very, very, very good thing. Especially if it's in a feedback way. That's, positive feedback, not just like, oh, change this now or else I leave the game. It's like, okay, goodbye? I know that may sound mean, but you can't leverage switching the game over one change. You gotta pick your battles, is what I'm saying. But luckily DE did change this, and I'll be honest, that reward was more fluent. That reward wasn't going out of my way. I was playing Warframe anyway. The only thing is now some of these rewards are going out of the way. Like some of the rewards say go fishing, or some of the rewards say do syndicate bounties. Maybe I don't want to do syndicate missions. Maybe I don't want to go fishing. Those kind of rewards I do not much care for, and the community as a whole, I would like to think they don't care for them either, but I can't be entirely sure. All I know is I'm part of the community and I don't care for them. Now, also on the note of bounties, also, because the way Warframe is in general, I'm having second thoughts about the reward system per se. Because the other day I was doing a mission on public like I normally do to try to get a bounty finish. It felt like I was basically fighting my own teammates to get the kill, which is very annoying. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be too easy that way, but maybe make it so as a group it completes the bounty, as in, whatever squad you're in. I don't know. That might be made too easy. DE, I doubt you listen to my podcast, but if you're out there, feel free to somehow let me know what you think, if you think that's a plausible idea. And furthermore, while we're on the bounty system and new players joining the Warframe community, I think it might be beneficial to put the reward on the bounties themselves, maybe. I mean, that seems like an interesting idea. Right now there's a syndicate hierarchy. Like I said, people who join the Warframe community and actually start playing Warframe in the next few weeks or whatever, they would join right at the end of the season. So guess what? They won't be able to get the cool stuff. Like, spoiler alert, that one arcane energize. Spoiler alert again, there is an Umbra Forma, and spoiler alert even farther, there is, I just like saying spoiler alert, a Wolf of Saturn 6 armor. So, it might be beneficial to, in the future, make it so those rewards are actually tied to the bounties, or acts as most people call them. I call them bounties because they remind me of bounties back from my Destiny days. But yeah, I digress. Okay, so those are, I guess, nitpicks per se I have with Nightwave, to be honest, I'm probably going to get on Warframe after this and try to knock out one or two of those bounty rewards and maybe hopefully get a Wolf on Saturn 6 encounter, because I've only encountered him once, and that's bad because apparently the hammer he dropped goes away when he goes away because he drops it. And they said it was going to be more common for him to show up at the week's path. It hasn't really been that common, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe that should have been the standing reward, you know? Yeah, that would have been pretty nice of the standing reward. So yeah, back to stuff. Comments, other comments. Besides just comments about whatnot. Okay, so there's other comments about Wolf on Saturn 6 bounty that aren't really hard, just kind of annoying, which, you know, I agree with overall. Let's see, that someone, okay, asking for my PSN, which if you want to add me in game, on the Warframe in game, definitely it's Vamp 6x6x6x on PC, on Switch, and on PS4. Feel free to add me in game for the things. The reason I'm stressing in game is because of the fact that I don't want my friend list on each platform, you know, to my actual PSN or my, well, Steam's a bit different, I think, or my Steam ID to get 224. So definitely feel free to add me in game. Plus, I check in game and, you know, friend requests like all the time. I accept all of them, by the way. So yeah, eventually I would just log on and then I would just have people instantly join my session. It's going to be kind of cool, actually. And I always like whenever, oh, that reminds me, just the other day, there was someone who recognized me. I was so happy too. I was just playing in a public group, and then they said, are you Vamp from YouTube? Yeah, and I could answer, yeah. They said they liked my content, and it really was a real big thing. It actually even motivated me to go stream, like, not but moments later, which is another example on how awesome the community is as a whole, and also how known I'm getting in the community. Warframe Madness, Vamp. See, I am Warframe Madness. Warframe Madness is my Warframe partner name. You know, Vamp 6x6x6x is my name on everything that I can think of. I go by Vamp. It is totally awesome to see that. And again, the Warframe community as a whole is very awesome. Warframe community is the reason that we made it to 6 years. By we, I mean Warframe as a whole. Look at me saying we, as in, you know, because I'm part of the community as well. I feel like sometimes people forget that every now and then, that Warframe partners are part of the community at all as well. I know, we partners tend to talk about the community as, you know, if it's a different entity from ourselves, but we are part of the community as well. We are, yeah, so to each Warframe community member out there, be it a partner, be it DE staff, a lot of DE staff actually play and love the game too. Actually, I've never seen developers play and enjoy their game as much as DE does. And that's also what makes it why I feel like they are better at sort of producing, making changes and stuff, hearing community feedback and whatnot. Sometimes they even go above and beyond and, fix based on what they would like to see because they actually play the game, so they know what they want. Actually, this is a fun little tidbit, I guess you could say, at streams, be it the Warframe dev stream or whenever you see Steve. For those of you guys that don't know, Steve is one of the lead developers. Whenever you see him on a stream or the dev stream, he likes seeing like the actual images and stuff, the actual HD textures and stuff, but he absolutely loves image stabilization, just like I do with the snow in the ground, like, snow making footprints, all that stuff. If something's not working right, he'll point it out as well. Other devs will too, but it's like he points out that he just sees stuff from a different point of view sometimes, not just from point A to point B. He actually sees the landscape. If something's like one fraction of a millisecond off, he usually is able to identify that pretty fast, and it's just kind of enjoyable seeing. It's enjoyable, right word? I enjoy watching, him do that on stream because it's like why everyone else is looking at how awesome it is. He's like, okay, this is what's wrong with it, type thing. Not what's wrong with it about the art style, but how it fits in the game, not story-wise, but the actual, if it clips real badly, so on and so forth. I mentioned clipping. Warframe actually clips quite a bit, but the devs are aware of that, slowly fixing it. I feel like Warframe has a lot of moving parts. Warframe is still in beta. It's a fun joke, but it's actually true. Under the beta license, it's how they're able to do half of what they're able to do. And speaking of the community, I want to end on this note, I guess. Some of the community really seems to want, certain console, not migration, cross-platform play. DE is going to try with some stuff, maybe with some items and stuff, but some of the community is worried because it would change the whole market system in Warframe. Excuse me. And I don't know how I feel about that. If it ever gets closer to happening, I guess we'll talk about it more then. Or if I somehow get a comment about it on one of my YouTube videos, we'll be talking about it then as well. Because again, that's youtube.com/c/Warframe Madness, or you can just search Warframe Madness in the search, and there will be the channel called Warframe Madness. I upload videos all the time. I try to upload videos every Monday through Friday. Every now and then it doesn't happen for reasons, life. But yeah, in those questions or comments that are added to my videos, I feature on this podcast. Yeah, Warframe Madness podcast. That was my original idea for making this podcast. And you guys have all been very very supportive. And you know what? I will catch you guys. I'm going to end the podcast here. This has been, actually, that might be the longest podcast to date. But I wanted to touch bases with you guys a little bit about Warframe, a little bit about more about the Warframe community, how awesome they are. We touched bases a little bit about able gamers, which when we did that charity event, since I'm a partner, I participated. You know, it holds a place dear in my heart. I know how cheesy that sounds, but it really does, because I have a disability, and it was, it was good to see that everyone seemed supportive of anyone playing Warframe. That even special controllers people can use to play Warframe with. And I think that's really cool and everything. So definitely thank you, Warframe community, for all the support. Anyone listening to this video, more than likely you're part of the Warframe community already, so you play Warframe. If you play Warframe at all, you're part of the community as far as I'm concerned. There's no special initiation club that you need to join or anything. And if you don't play Warframe and you just listen to the podcast to support me, thank you for your support. And as a side note, I would at least, consider giving Warframe a try. It's free to play. Worst case scenario, you've wasted a little bit of your time and download space. So, yeah, what to lose? And yeah, that's it. I'm going to end the podcast there. Later.